Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, we've got SirHamer in the Tier 9 US Cruiser Seattle. Um, Matchmaking? Well, matchmaking's pretty decent. Top tier in a mixed tier game that includes 9, 8, and 7. There are CVs in the game, but if you're going to be in a ship facing CVs, being in a US cruiser is probably about as good as it gets as far as cruisers are concerned. Now, there was a new bug introduced with 0.10.5 update, so there are certain settings that will not stay set for replays. They stay set perfectly fine during the game, playing the game, but in replays I have to go in and reset them manually every single time. I'm hoping they will address that, but given their track record with bugs, historically and particularly of late, I expect you will probably see me doing that for the foreseeable future. Anyhow, so the enemy team has a Lexington. The good guys have a Kaga. You can debate the relative strengths and merits of both of those ships, of course, but there are aircraft, which means there are going to be challenges with regards to being spotted. Both teams with, in this game, 4 destroyers. Enemy team with a Fletcher, Yugumo, Kagero, and a Sashio. That is a lot of torpedo power. Good guys have Yugumo, Friesland, Benson, and a Sashio. Also a lot of torpedo power. Although Friesland has no torpedoes, it does have hydro, very quick reloading guns, and is certainly a threat in the hands of a capable player. Now, SirHamer has moved up fairly close to the Bravo cap. The aircraft are keeping him detected. You can see he's targeted by at least one ship. Don't know whether it's the Colorado, Azuma, KGV, Baltimore, now targeted by 2. And the aircraft are gone, or at least out of range. And SirHamer fires up the radar. You can see the violet line around his ship on the minimap. That is the radius of his radar. And unfortunately, the enemy destroyer that's in the Bravo cap is outside of it. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this game other than that SirHamer had a great game. So while we watch this together, I will give you a little bit of information about the Seattle. Seattle has 152 millimeter guns. There are 12 of them. These are, of course, our Sashio torps, which pass harmlessly underneath a cruiser. Reload time on these guns, if not modified in any way, 6.5 seconds. Rotation speed, 22.5 seconds for a 180-degree turn. Firing range, 14.28 kilometers. Max dispersion, 141 meters, not too shabby. Fairly decent for smashing destroyers if you're up close. Like most of the U.S. cruiser and, in fact, destroyer shells, they are very floaty. They take a long time to reach the target. They have fantastic arcs, which are great if you're firing over islands like this, but it does add time to the target. So it takes a little getting used to. And SirHamer's got a Fletcher kind of sitting out there. Fletcher accelerates away from the shells, but maybe this next volley will have a little bit better success. Nope. Fletcher runs into the island there. He'll probably eat some of those shells. Getting back to the ship itself. Hey, look at that. A detonation. A lot of people, including myself, not big fans of that mechanic. It's been my experience that roughly 1 in 100 games in, you're going to run into that. But, there are signals you can use to make that problem go away. And back to the the specifics of this ship. Maximum HE shell damage is 2200 with a 12% fire chance, and the AP does a maximum of 3200. Although penetration, especially at range, is really not good. This is more of an HE spammer than anything else. AA defense, well, as I mentioned earlier, it's decent, but really in this meta, AA is just not all that effective regardless. Without any modification, concealment is 12.24 kilometers, and from the air, 8.52 kilometers. And now SirHamer is fully into fire starting mode. Currently 4 fires and counting. We're 5.5 minutes in, and that Colorado's in big trouble. There is an Asashio out there, but the friendly battleship up there at what, Alpha 8, Alpha 9? He's got a Friesland, likely with hydro running, to help with torpedoes. It looks like SirHamer is going to try and reposition. If we look at the scoreboard, bad guys are up 397 to 298. That's on the back of having secured 2 caps. The good guys only have 1. Each team is down 2 ships. Both teams down a battleship and a destroyer. Good guys have lost Bismarck and Benson. Bad guys have lost King George V and the Fletcher. SirHamer looks like he's wanting to reposition to be able to help out on the Bravo cap. Trying not to get blapped. Putting some shells out on Kagero, who is detected by Yugamo. And at this range, you can see how long it takes the shells to get there. There's a lot of time for a destroyer to maneuver out from underneath those shells. That's almost 11 seconds. Yeah. Friesland burns down the Colorado, and the good guys have thoroughly controlled the Charlie cap. Kagero takes down the friendly Yugamo, and the bad guys now have 2 caps. They have a ship advantage and an increasing points advantage. SirHamer is sitting just under 49,000 and is now in position to start raining fire down on the Alsace, who had his guns pointed the other way. So we get probably a couple safe volleys here before Alsace could get guns around this way, and you can see SirHamer's running for cover. Baltimore guns are also pointed the other way. Stop here and just use the edge of this island, which is exactly what he's doing, to continue to rain shells down on Alsace. If he's just careful with his position, he'll be able to get both these ships burning without being seen. And that is exactly what he's doing. He's backed up a little bit, and Balti has him spotted now. And he's continuing to back up, very risky. He's putting himself out there, but Alsace has his guns pointed forward. He's sitting broadside to that Balti, and that's a risk. Now you can see he's targeted by 3. He's got shells coming in. The Balti's firing HE. If the Balti were firing AP, this would probably be a devastating shot, but no.
The ship is on fire.
Balti had HE loaded, presumably to catch a destroyer. And it's probably safe to heal up now that you're out of sight. That's probably what he'll end up doing. We'll see. Got the heal. Picks up the kill on the Alsace. Azuma takes out the friendly Colorado. And the bad guys maintain their 1-ship advantage. And they've got, 260-point lead at this point, more or less. Now in terms of positioning, this is pretty strong. Can't be seen, but can lob shells over the island. As long as he doesn't get too close to the island, he'll be able to continue to throw shells over this island. He is detected. You've got to ask yourself, by what? And what's going to be able to shoot him? Now there was a a Yugomo, an enemy Yugomo, you can see on the less known position marker there on the Bravo cap. And my guess is that's how he's detected. And sitting in this gap, he may be subject to torpedo attack. Yep, it was the Yugomo. You can see him there now, and I'm guessing there are probably torpedoes on the way, but we'll see. I think I would probably fire up the Hydro as SirHamer finishes off the Balti. And maybe Yugomo had already thrown his torpedoes somewhere else. Still feel like the Hydro would have been a good precaution, but what do I know? If you're keeping track, that is one aircraft shot down, 142 shells and counting on target, 8 fires, 3 ships sunk, and still with the vast majority of his HP. Debating about whether to keep shelling the KGV or to move up here and try and help with these enemy destroyers. Now, the red team still has 3 destroyers, Yugomo, Kagero, and Asashio, all with fantastic detection ratings. They're very hard to spot. You got to get close. Or you got to catch them in radar or catch them with aircraft. And the good guys, they've got the Friesland. Now, he's doing a fantastic job. He's already sunk 2 ships, but there's a lot of torpedo potential here from the bad guys. And that Kagero pushing this way has really put himself in jeopardy. That one's going to fall a little bit behind. That second volley looks good. He's going to be detected there for a second if he lets that burn, so he puts it out immediately. Radar goes up, and it's time to finish the Kagero. Aircraft come in, but are ineffective, and SirHamer picks up the Confederate as he finishes off the Kagero. Nicely done, sir. Risky run across here to this island. He's got KGV on his side. You can see he took a little bit of damage there from the KGV, but he's able to keep that Yugomo lit for his team. Now the CV knows where that Yugomo's at. He can help by keeping aircraft over there. Targeted by 3. Now 1. SirHamer's just trying to stay angled as best he can. Double fire on North Carolina. We'll see if that continues to burn. That's 177 shells on target, 6 aircraft down, 11 fires, 4 kills, 121,000 damage and counting. Already a pretty strong showing from SirHamer, who still has, remarkably, the majority of his HP. It's no easy feat playing a light cruiser in the current meta. North Carolina must have prepared because he's letting those fires burn, and they are burning. You can see even over the highest part of that island, these shells just go right over. SirHamer trying like mad to finish off that NC. And he gets him as he picks up the Kraken Unleashed. Great job. Really great job. And with that, the good guys take a ship lead. Good guys still have 6 ships. Bad guys are down to 5. Enemy CV looks like he's going to be trying to strike SirHamer. No, he's headed the other way. Looks like he's going to drop to Colorado, who is really not moving. That is a better choice. And SirHamer's trying to get shells on the Azuma. Now, Azuma's shells hit very hard, but my guess is he's going to be targeting the Friesland. Yeah, it looks like that's where the guns are aimed. Azuma's running at full speed, just basically running out from underneath all these shells. SirHamer adjusts his aim a little bit. And there's a fire and another couple thousand damage. So we push up to 140,000 damage and counting. And that fire is continuing to burn. Hydro and radar are active. SirHamer picks up a Witherer. Another fire. Just a fantastic game all around. It's 215 bells on target. That's kill number 6. Enemy Yugumo torpedoes the friendly Colorado. Colorado's out of the game. Bad guys still have a, well, 429 point lead as the Kaga follows suit. Yugumo taking that down. With flooding, bad guys have nearly won this game, 945 points. This is going to be a real uphill slog. SirHamer's probably going to try and get in this cap to slow their points, but unless they kill someone else, this is going to be over. Okay, so Kutuzov takes out the KGV. That does give him a little bit of a reprieve, but not much of one. Still 2 enemy destroyers, and with hydro and radar down, 2 destroyers out there. This is going to be a real challenge. Head on a swivel. Located, now detected. My guess on this side. Yeah, that'd be my guess too. Angle against torpedoes.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on full alert.
There's the Lexi. I don't think there's enough time. Yeah, 11 seconds for the shells to reach their target. Almost 12 seconds now. Almost impossible for a light cruiser to finish off a near full health CV these days. Fires what they burn for 5 seconds. Yeah, thanks for gaming.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on normal alert.
Only 28 points needed by the bad guys, and SirHamer picks up high caliber. Well, that's pretty much all the awards, right? What a phenomenal game. Asashio on the right side there. Can he finish him before the bad guys went on points? Not a whole lot of time here. He might be able to get him. That looks pretty good. I'd switch the guns to the Yugumo right now. That's kill number 7, ladies and gentlemen. And Yugumo says, I want no part of that. Yugumo runs out of the radar range. SirHamer's picked up the cap. What a phenomenal game. Okay, so SirHamer has single-handedly sunk 7 of the opposing team. That is a fantastic game by any measure. Now, I think at this point, the Yugumo is just going to run probably for Alpha 1. No one's going to be able to catch him. He may throw torpedoes behind himself occasionally, but with no friendly CV to spot him. Unfortunately, despite the heroic gameplay, this one's going to end up in the L column. So unless that Yugumo makes a terrible mistake, all he has to do is run for the corner, stay alive for 1 minute and 50 seconds. And that's not going to be hard to do. You can see the Friesland's out there hoping to catch the Yugumo heading due north. And take a look at that. The torpedoes came from north of SirHamer's position. But regardless, this game is in the history books. Fantastic game, SirHamer. Thanks for sharing it. Those of you joining me here, really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.